Hey guys, welcome back to my next video, and today we're going to be looking at the Prem results from last week in my team of the week, and then the players to watch from this week and what I think will happen this week in the Prem. So, the Newcastle-Cardiff game, they drew 0-0, it wasn't a great game until like the last minute when Kennedy missed a penalty. He should already been sent off. Newcastle had already had Mbemba sent off. Cardiff had a few chances to win it but didn't take them. Newcastle had a few chances to win it but didn't take them. So it kind of ebbed and flowed a lot, but more in Cardiff's favour than Newcastle's favour. The next game was Everton-Southampton, which was actually quite a good game. Everton won 2-1. Richarlison and someone else scored for Everton. Richarlison and Walcott scored for Everton. Ing got one back for Southampton. Judging by the highlights from the match today, Richarlison and Walcott tore Southampton to shreds at times, and I was really impressed with both of them. That's why they're both in this team, because they really were quite quality players. Next game was Leicester Wolves. Leicester scored against the run of play and then managed to get a second thanks to a lucky deflection. But even when Vardy got sent off, Wolves just didn't really trouble their net. That was the issue. Wolves didn't put enough pressure on Leicester, really. In my mind, I think they could have put a lot more pressure on and potentially got something out of it, but it's not the easiest place to go to King Power, and Wolves didn't actually play that badly. The next game was Tottenham versus Fulham. Tottenham won 3-1. Lucas Moura, Trippier and Kane got his first August goal, and Mitrovic got one back for Fulham. But I put Kane in this team simply because he scored his first August goal, and that makes him very positive. And that was impressive. But the other Tottenham player I put in this team was probably the man of the match by quite a long way, and it was Kieran Trippier. He had a really good game. His free kick was delightful, and he actually has been one of the unsung heroes the last few years. Since Kyle Walker left, he's really been quite good. He fought off Aurier last year, and I think he should be our starting right back. Next game was Bournemouth-West Ham. Arnautovic gave West Ham the lead, but Wilson and Cook quite quickly turned it around for Fulham. Another disappointing defeat for West Ham, who everyone was expecting to be challenging for that place outside of the top six. Top of the other league if you wish. But West Ham didn't play that badly for a long time, but as soon as Bournemouth scored, it was a different game. And in the end, Bournemouth probably deserved to get the 3 points, and West Ham didn't deserve anything for their second half. The next game was the game of the weekend in my mind, by a long way, for entertainment and excitement. And it was the evening kick-off on the Saturday, Chelsea-Arsenal. Chelsea raced into a 2-goal lead, thanks to goals from Pedro and Morata. But then Mkhitaryan and Iwobi fought back for Arsenal, and Alonso won it quite late on. It was an outstanding game in the first half, considering it was 2-2 at half time, and neither defence really wanted to defend. There could have been 5 or 6 more goals for each team in this. But the 2 players I picked from this game was N'Golo Kante, who was everywhere really, and he was quite impressive in my mind, and Marcos Alonso, who got the winner, got an assist. He is one of Chelsea's unsung heroes. Fullbacks don't get a lot of mentions unless they're absolutely world class. But he is one of the best in the league. And that hurts coming from a Tottenham fan, but he really is. But the next game was Burnley-Watford. Watford took an early lead, which Burnley equalised. And then it really but Burnley. And then Watford became a better team in the second half, really, and got three quite early on in the second half. It was very impressive from Watford. They scored in the 48th minute and then the 51st minute. Andre Gray's goal was a stunning goal. And then Dean and Wilhoos also scored. Tarkowski replied quite quickly after the first one, but Burnley never really came up with a reply to the second and third one. They were too close together. But the next game was the performance of the weekend in my mind. Man City versus Huddersfield. And obviously, Man City absolutely ripped them to shreds, winning 6-1. And it was a very impressive performance. And I've got to say, David Silva was very close to being in this team, but I decided against it. So as everyone knows by now, Sergio Aguero, who's up front in this team, got a hat-trick. He was kind of everywhere in it. He could have had 2 or 3 more. Had a bit more luck been on his side. Jesus always scored, and he always does. And he had a good game. David Silva marked his return with a goal. He had a stunning game. Congolo then put into his own net, but Huddersfield were already beat by then and it didn't really matter. And Man City could have had 8 or 9, really. But Stankovic briefly gave Huddersfield hope at 3-1, but you know, it was never going to be a point for them. But I think the standout from a Man City game, who doesn't normally get mentioned, I think did a bit after Sunday, is Benjamin Mendy, who they missed for a lot last year, but he had a really good game. He looked bright, he was quick, he was impressive. The final game of the weekend was another pretty good game. Brighton beat Man United 3-2. And a lot was said about Man United's performance, considering they were 3-1 down at half-time and didn't really reply. But Murray, Duffy and Gross all scored before half-time for Brighton. Lukaku briefly had given the United hope halfway through that, and then Pogba got one right towards the end. I think the standout player in this game is that although Glenn Murray did have a good game, and had Aguero scored a hat-trick, he would have been in it. But I think the standout was definitely Pascal Gross. He got a goal, he looked bright, he saw United to shreds really, him and Glenn Murray together. But now we're going to be moving on to the team to watch for this week, and the fixtures for this week. So I think there are quite a few good ones this week. Right, so the first game of this weekend, the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday, is Wolves versus Man City. I didn't put any Man City players in this team simply because everyone knows about Man City, so it would be quite pointless. But I did put in this team Ruben Neves, who started the season really well. He did really well against Everton. He looked quite bright against Leicester, probably Wolves' best player at the time, and he could be a real threat to Man City, considering he can defend, but then when he goes forward, he can actually finish from long range or short range. But the next game is Arsenal-West Ham, 2 pointless teams. I just like saying that because they're two Tottenham rivals. Players watching this game is you couldn't not pick him simply because of he was Arsenal through and through, and now he's got to play against them. And it is Jack Wilshere, who hasn't had a great start to his West Ham career. So I'm wondering if a trip to the Emirates will liven it up a bit for him. But I think Man City will win 4-1 probably. I think Wolves will collapse towards the end. I think West Ham will be the one to break their duck and get a point this weekend. I think it'll be 2-1 West Ham. With Wilshere having a lot of involvement but not scoring. Next game's Everton-Bournemouth. Two teams who had good wins this week, who have started the season well. Everton most impressively. Two players I put in this team are the two players who I mentioned before. Walcott and Richarlison, who have shown a lot this season. It's like they can already find each other so easily. And it's just, put it this way, I hope Tottenham don't have to play him for a little while. I don't think we do, but we might have to. So then hopefully Richarlison and Walcott will have lost their form by then. But the next game of the 3 o'clock kickoff is Huddersfield versus Cardiff. I cannot see anything happening in this game. It is odds on a 0-0 draw by a long way. The next game is Southampton-Leicester. I think this could actually be quite a good game. I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. I think it could be really entertaining though. Considering both teams will want to come out and win it. And both teams probably could win it, but it'll all be a question of can Leicester perform without James Vardy? Because they didn't really on the opening day. Final game of the 3 o'clock kickoffs is Brighton versus Liverpool. Or Liverpool versus Brighton, whichever way around. The player I picked for Liverpool from this game is Roberto Firmino, because he hasn't scored yet this year, and Mane and Salah have started it on really good form. So if he doesn't start to score, I think if he doesn't score in the next 2 games, questions will start to be after him. Certainly if Sturridge comes on and performs. Player I picked from Brighton is another one who I mentioned a little earlier, Pascal Gross, who had a really good game against Man United, but can he handle like a Keita, Fabinho, Milner, Henderson? Can he handle them? Because I don't think he can. I think he will struggle. First of the Sunday game is Watford versus Crystal Palace. And I think Crystal Palace should win this game 3-1, really. I wouldn't be surprised if Zaha got 2 and then Townsend whipped one in towards the end. Will Zaha, although he didn't score against Liverpool, he did look really bright and I'm a big fan of him. I don't think he'd get into Tottenham team right now with Lucas Moura performing. But, you know, he'll be close. He'd be close. He'd be a good bench sub. And that's always what you want. The next game in Bournemouth is Fulham-Burnley, That could be... Now, it'll all depend how Fulham come out and play in this game. If Fulham come out all guns blazing and try and win it, then they'll be there for the taking from Burnley. But if they go to Burnley and try and sit back, then it could easily be a 2-0 Fulham win. But I think it'll all depend how Fulham turn up. The next game and the final Sunday game is Newcastle versus Chelsea. This could be quite an exciting game, considering Newcastle thrashed Chelsea towards the end of last year on the final day. The player I picked from this game was N'Golo Kante. He's got a bit of a different role now. It's changed a bit for him, so everyone will be wondering, can he do it? because he's looked really good on it so far. The next game is, I think, an easy Tottenham win, really, if I'm being honest. Man United versus Tottenham at Old Trafford. Now, Tottenham haven't had a great record at Old Trafford, because they haven't had a great record against United, but however, in the last few years, we have beaten them a few times. So I wonder if it would be a shock if Tottenham beat Man United. But we're going to start off with a Man United player in this team. It's Paul Pogba, who admitted last week he didn't really perform against Brighton, and he'll be hoping for a better performance. But I think Tottenham will handle him really well, and he either won't turn up or he'll be absolutely stunning. The next player is Hugo Lloris. Because last year this was the kind of game where he made mistakes. And this year everyone will be looking to see if he's improved that. Because honestly, some of the mistakes last year were pretty poor. But you know, I haven't seen anything like that towards the start of this year. So hopefully that will all change. But the other person everyone will be watching is Toby Alderweireld. Because if he plays, will he perform? Because he wants to go to United, they've said. Unless that's changed all of a sudden. Which I'm not sure if it has or not. I hope it has, but I don't think it will have done. But he wants to go to United, but can he perform against United and put in a really good performance? And that's going to be the end of this video, guys. And I will see you tomorrow.